Welcome to part 2 of our Fleece Patchwork Lap Blanket tutorial. This section will teach you how to lace up your rows of your fleece blanket. Let's get started. Identify row 1 by the one plastic clip that is attached to the square on the stack of fabric. Place the stack in front of you and lay it out so that the first square has the plastic clip in the lower right-hand corner, and the other 3 squares are directly above it. These squares are attached by safety pins in the right and left-hand corners. Your objective is going to be to attach these squares using the overcast stitch. So take one of your fleece ribbons and lace it through the eye of your plastic needle, leaving just a short tail, about an inch or so. Where this sticker is adhered to the fleece fabric, and the way I have this facing me, it's on my right. I am going to point my needle through, down, top down, through that corner hole, and pull it through and just leave a couple inches of a tail. After I pull that over, I'm going to come over the top edge of the 2 pieces of fabric that I'm attaching, and I'm going to go down through the next hole. And again, if you're blind or visually impaired, you should be able to see or feel where you last laced your ribbon through. Slide your thumb over to the left until you feel your next hole. That's how you don't miss a hole, is by sliding your thumb over. Then I find the next hole, put my needle top down through again, and pull it through. And I'm going to keep doing this. Leave your pins and your clips in place. We'll worry about that later. Okay. So again, going top down through and over the top of the fabric. And I'm going to continue doing this until I get to the very end. Okay, back over the top until I get to the very last one. And I go through the top and to the bottom. And there we go. I have completed my overcast stitch, attaching square 1 to square 2. Move this down toward my lap, the part that I just stitched, I'm moving that down toward my lap. Now we'll stitch the second intersection, starting where that sticker is pointing to the right hand hole, and getting another fleece strip. And I'm going to continue doing this through this second, to attach the second square to the third square. Once I complete that, I'll pull that down and do it again to attach the third square to the fourth square. So I'm going to do that, and I will come back to you once that's complete. Okay, now I have completed stitching up these 3 intersecting squares in my first row. So I've connected square 1 of my first row to square 2, square 2 of my first row to square 3, and square 3 of my first row to square 4. And it creates the beautiful little overcast stitch on each one. And I can go back now and I can remove the 2 safety pins from each side of the tops of the squares next to my stitching. And you can remove that little sticker in the corner, the right hand corner. And once you've done that, you've completed row 1. Now we're going to put this aside, again keeping that clip on the bottom that shows us it's the first row. I'm going to fold it up, put it to the side, and we're going to do the exact same thing to complete the second and the third and the fourth rows. This concludes our second portion of our Fleece Patchwork Lap Blanket tutorial. Please proceed with stitching up the remaining rows of your fleece blanket. Then proceed to your next part 3 of your fleece blanket tutorial to learn how to stitch your rows together.